Hello and welcome to Global Racing Esports Network. I'm your host, Mike Lester, and up here in the booth tonight for Doghouse Racing. Sorry about that. Got to shut my volume off, which reminds me I got to turn these guys' volume off so that we don't overhear some secret stuff that they don't want us to find out. So I apologize about that. But once again, this is Mike Lester with Global Racing uh, Esports Network here with Doghouse Racing here in Hotlanta for the Georgia 185, uh, the Doghouse Racing ARCA Series. All right, so I'm bring up my stuff now. These guys, they only do a 15-minute practice here at Doghouse, and they're gonna get a couple minutes left in there, and then they're gonna get off the qualifying, and we're gonna have ourselves a nice race. There we go. Right now in practice, you see the 29 of Harrison Chandler. We've heard that name plenty of times during the course of broadcasting for this ARCA series. Harrison Chandler, that number one position so far in the speed charts with Christopher Simon and Justin McMahon, and an old favorite of everybody's, Steve Gerber, as well, up there in fourth place. Adam Gardner still out there running, and these guys are not practicing. These guys are in the middle of qualifying, so practice is definitely over. Adam Gardner out there on his first lap. We'll see what he is at the line. So maybe I was mistaken here, and I'm not sure if I do apologize. I was working on my stuff in order to get us going. I do believe these guys are in the midst of qualifying right now. Harrison Chandler is being showed as your yep. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. I thought they were gonna have qualifying at 11 or at the 45 after, but they seem to have done it a little early. So here we're gonna let's bring up the lineup for the night. Harrison Chandler from Florida is going to be first. Christopher Simon from the United States. Justin McMahon comes in third. Steve Gerber from Global Racing League, he's fourth. Chris Leftwich, fifth. Mike Leftwich is going to start sixth. Wesley Whitfield is seventh. Randall Barnett, eighth. Eric Peck, ninth. Jonathan Canfield, brand new racer out there on the track today, he's going to start 10th. Adam Gardner is going to be 11th. Cason Owen, another new driver out there, he's going to start 12th. 13th is going to go to Doug Turner. 14th is going to go to Kevin Powell. 15th is Eddie Rivers. 16th is Lender Johnson. And bringing up the rear for that last spot in tonight's race, Daniel Wilkinson in that 78 car. We're going to start 17th. There you go. So a couple of new faces out there. Let me see. Doug Turner. Let's see what he has to show for us. And there you go, Doug Turner right there. And let me see who else. Jonathan Canfield just got signed to the league moments before the race. He's out there trying to prove himself out there. And we are moving now. Pace car is leading these guys around this 1.5 mile track at Atlanta. Now, this is the old setup. If anybody's been watching NASCAR over the weekend, which I have not, but anybody's been watching NASCAR over the weekend has seen the new configuration for Atlanta. iRacing did not bring that to the table this weekend or this week, so we still have that old run-of-the-mill track that everybody loves about Atlanta. But one thing they do not love about Atlanta is how much it eats up these tires. So taking care of your tires, these guys run a fixed setup, so the only thing you can do is take care of them tires and try to get around this track with little to no tire wears if possible, uh, and try to be the freshest guy out there on the track. And I do believe they're only going to run 2 sets of tires on it, so you got to use them sparingly. You can't just be throwing the cautions or waiting for cautions to change your tires. You got to use those things real sparingly. And pace car is down. 29 is going to bring us to the start finish line. There we go. 29 of Harrison Chandler getting a good jump off. Christopher Simon in that 35 grabbing a hold of that second place and getting down and bringing Justin McMahon in third place. 19th of Steve Gerber. Did not get as good a start as these first 3 guys, but he's still holding 4th place. All right, so here we go. These guys have made it around to finish up their second lap. Everybody seems to be racing nice. And Christopher Simon, they're tracking down the 29 of Harrison Chandler. Justin McMahon right now being under pressure by that 19 of Steve Gerber. Christopher Leftwich right there as well. He's trying to make this a 3-way battle for the 3rd place. Wesley Whitfield, we hear his name a lot these days over in this ARCA series. He's been making some ground up there. He's sitting in 6th place. All right. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good racing going on. Steve Gerber is not being under fire. He is doing the firing. He is trying to get that 3rd place away from the 20 of Justin McMahon, with the 13 of Christopher Leftwich and the 07 of Wesley Whitfield right in back there trying to pounce and slide through that door. And that 20 car of Justin McMahon, he does not want to give up that 3rd position. He's fighting back hard on that outside. Gerber's going to kind of fall back for a second, not wanting to use up them tires on that low side. Back up front, the battle for the lead is heating up. Harrison Chandler, Christopher Simon, 0.2 of a second in between them. Definitely want to give a shout out to Shoney's Restaurant, sponsor of Doghouse Racing. Without Shoney's around doing this league would be a lot harder on Daniel and the rest of the admin. So definitely want to give a big shout out to Shoney's. Really good place to eat. I wish Atlanta had more around. We had a bunch of them at one time, but they all seem to have left us. I like Shoney's a lot better than I like Golden Corral, but that's a different story for a different day. We're watching Christopher Simon challenge Harrison Chandler for that number 1 spot. Definitely want to welcome in all the viewers over there sitting on YouTube. If you guys like to drop some comments down on the message board there, and I'll definitely give shout outs, man. Tell us who you think's gonna win this race, and see if you're right at the end, man. If you were right and you win, Daniel Wilkinson's gonna come to your house and do "I'm a Little Teapot" dance for you. Right now, Justin McMahon back there in that 3rd position, back a little bit further from these lead spots. Oh, gets loose a little bit and touches that outside wall. Not too bad, but shakes up everybody behind him where they got to check up, or they were going to cause the first caution. Right now, McMahon gathers it back up and keeps going forward, as well as Wesley Whitfield and 13 of Christopher Leftwich and a 19 of Steve Gerber. Let's check on. Let's see here. Let's go back here and look at our Daytona winners. Randall Barnett sitting in 7th place right now, being challenged by the 82 of Eric Peck. Adam Gardner right there in that 56. See, you hear about Adam Gardner. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with here in this Doghouse Racing. His name's always up front and a big challenger for the win every week. Mike Leftwich right there behind him in that 60. Back up front, there's been no change. Harrison Chandler continues to lead. Christopher Simon, Justin McMahon sitting there in 3rd place. Now being under fire, Wesley Whitfield in 4th, racing with Christopher Leftwich in 5th. Caution is out. What happened? Oh, Wesley Whitfield freaking goes up and hits the wall at the caution. That's not what brought out, but Casey Owens. It's telling me Casey Owens crashed, so we're going to go back and see why he crashed. Oh, wow. Big neck code. It looked like, if I can rewind that once again, who is Kevin Powell? It looks like, let me see, if the Kevin Powell, he is the number 93. So he would be the red car, I believe. And we're going to watch this one more time. Here, I want to stop it. Rewind it just a little bit. And let's watch this from a chase to see exactly what happened. And we got some, we'll get to the, so it looks like the 93 is on the bottom. And yeah, it looked like the 39 just got loose coming off of that turn and got in that quarter panel and drove the 93 right into the wall. And that's a hard hit for Kevin Owens and Cason Owens, or Kevin Powell and Cason Owens. I do believe those were the guys that were involved in it. 39 and the 9. Yep. So definitely. You see 13 coming out of the pits, 19 coming out of the pits. Harrison Chandler is going to continue to lead coming out of these pit roads. Christopher Simon still in 2nd. Justin McMahon still in 3rd. New 4th place runner right now, Jonathan Canfield, in his first race with Doghouse Racing, comes out of the pits in 4th, jumps 6 spots. But that's not the most spots jumped. Linder Johnson pulls a 11 spot jump, so I think him and Jonathan might have just took right side tires only, and that's a big gamble. I mean, we were at Las Vegas last time. This is Atlanta. And I am trying to get to where they took my comments off, and I don't like it. All right, so. Oh, there we go. I just hit that light chat. Okay, so we have I'm thinking her name is Brittany Rice, saying good luck to the 13 Chris Leftwich and the 60 of Mike Leftwich and the 59 of Kason Owens. She's undecided. I mean, you can't, Brittany, you can't pick three guys that you think's gonna win now. I got a one driver rule. You got to root for one driver. I will definitely make it easier for you. We'll mark 39 off of the list. He is in pit road right now. He's multiple laps down. Green flag is in the air. I apologize. Let's get back to the racing, and I'll stop having fun with the audience. All right, 29 gets a big jump. Harrison Chandler jumps in front of the 35 of Christopher Simon. Lender Johnson, your new third place guy, being under fire from Steve Gerber. Steve Gerber takes that lead from him. Now 13 comes up and he passes Jonathan Canfield. Jonathan Canfield with him that two-tire decision is falling like a rock. He's going to fall back some more positions here. He's under fire from this, now under fire for the 60 car is now approaching him and going to try to get that position as well. Okay, so all right, Brittany, we see. She's chosen her fiance, Chris Leftwich. So I mean, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. I mean, I would have gone with the father-in-law, but you know, fiance's good too. All right, so Steve Gerber. Wait a minute, hold on. What did I miss? Steve Gerber is now being showed as the leader. Steve Gerber getting a big jump here. Harrison Chandler being challenged by Christopher Leftwich. Not much of a challenge there. Christopher Leftwich just walks right past him. You see, there's a guy down. See somebody down there on the Justin McMahon. A lap down. I wonder what happened to him. He was just up racing for the lead. I think Brittany's got me all flustered. All right, so back to the front. Steve Gerber leading. Christopher Leftwich in that 13, up 3 spots, up here to second place. Now he's hunting down the 19 of Steve Gerber. Less than a second gap between them. So Gerber, he's put some distance on the track, but Christopher Leftwich isn't letting him get too far out there. Back here in this little group, we got Eric Peck, Harrison Chandler, Lender Johnson, and Mike Leftwich all racing in that nice little pack right there. This is where most of the racing's going on right here between that 82 car of Eric Peck and that 20. Sorry. The 20, no, that 20 car is a lap down. The 20 car is out there. Justin McMahon is a lap down, and I still haven't figured out how that happened. Right back here, Harrison Chandler, who was leading all the laps up until the caution, is falling all the way back to fourth. His car is definitely not the same as it was in the beginning of this race. Back up front, Steve Gerber continuing to march up the field, but Christopher Leftwich right there has took about 0.3 of a second off of that lead and is hunting down Steve Gerber for that top spot. I want to welcome everybody in on YouTube side. Thanks for joining us, and please like, subscribe, put your comments down there below. If they're appropriate, I'll definitely read them off. If you got an idea of who you think's going to win this race, if you're rooting for anybody in particular, man, let us know, and we'll definitely let them know. All right, Steve Gerber. The race between Steve Gerber and Christopher Leftwich, but now it looks like that Eric Peck, no, the 20 car of Justin McMahon trying to get his lap back. He's going to race up here and try to get the lap back. So that 3-car pack, 2 of them are for position, and 1 is just to try to get that. He wants to be the lucky dog, or he just wants to be the one who drives around that 19 car and gets his lap back. '13 of Christopher Leftwich just continuing to bite away at that lead of Steve Gerber. Eric Peck back there 2.5 seconds behind these two guys. Seems to be just racing alone. About 3 seconds behind Eric Peck is Mike Leftwich and that number 60, Winn-Dixie. Another thing that we don't have up here anymore. Winn-Dixie pulled out. I used to like Winn-Dixie. Harrison Chandler is going to top. All right, so we got another Christopher Leftwich fan out there from Michael Smashma. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. So there is 2-0 for Chris Leftwich here tonight. As we see Justin McMahon passing the 13 of Christopher Leftwich. Don't worry, guys, that is not for position. Justin McMahon is in 17th spot and trying to get that lap, one of those laps back. All right, so back up front, Steve Gerber and has pretty much plateaued that lead at 0.6, fluctuating there. Now it's 0.5, 0.4, so ever so slightly, Christopher Leftwich is catching the 19 of Steve Gerber. So let's do a little run through the field. You know, we talked about Steve Gerber and we talked about Christopher Leftwich. Eric Peck sitting there in 3rd place. Let's put up some. Let's show some NASCAR drivers here. Look at that, Eric Peck, Janesville, Wisconsin. We got Mike Leftwich, the second choice of Old Brittany there. He's sitting there in 4th place. The father of Christopher Leftwich, I do believe. Harrison Chandler is in 5th place. Uh, won the one scored a pole position to start this race, and also led most of the laps. And then on that restart, he just got past and it's fallen back to 5th. His car does not like the dirty air that he's facing, so keep an eye on the 29, 32 of Lyndon Johnson back here running in 6th position. Randall Barnett, our, like I said before, Daytona winner, sitting back here in 7th position. Jonathan Canfield not falling back too much, except for he's under fire from the 15th of Eddie Rivers. First race tonight and showing these guys some respect and moving out of the way. You see that 93 who was involved in that early caution, he's bounced back nicely. And then the 35 who was up there racing for 2nd place is back here in 10th spot, just putting Jonathan Canfield down another position. Doug Turner, another new name to the Doghouse Racing ARCA series, right here battling with Adam Gardner in that 56. Adam Gardner, not new to Doghouse at all. Has been here for all the series. He races all the series. Good to see Adam Gardner out there. Hoping he gets a better outlook on it here soon, being back there in 13th place. Wesley Whitfield, another guy that was up front for a good portion of the race, has fallen back to 14th. And Doghouse owner, proprietor from Saraland, Alabama, Daniel Wilkinson, back here in the 15th spot. So Kason Owens, another new name, is multiple laps down, as well as Justin McMahon from Rutland, Vermont. It looks like. Hopefully VT stands for Vermont, or I just look like a bonehead. Back up front, Steve Gerber continues to lead, now only by 0.4 seconds on Christopher Leftwich. And you see the gap between them two. Christopher ever so slightly gnawing away at that lead. Ooh, Christopher Leftwich high in that turn, loses ground to the 19. Looks like he's gaining it right back up. Oh, he's got a big run going into turn 1 and 2. Coming out, he's right there. Steve Gerber gets a little wiggle coming up to these lap cars. Christopher Leftwich right now, riding that high side, is gaining that ever so needed exit speed. But right now they're racing with lap cars. 13 going, looking on the inside of Steve Gerber, taking the lead. Christopher Leftwich takes the lead away from Steve Gerber. And here, what Steve Gerber not done yet, looks back on the low side, trying to cross over. Going down into turn 3. It's neck to neck. Steve Gerber and Chris Leftwich racing for that number 1 spot. Chris Leftwich is going to take the advantage coming out of turn 4, going into the tri-oval, and is going to lead that lap. And man, woo, that's some good racing right there. I got to remember to breathe sometimes. Harrison Chandler has came into the pits, and he's now leaving the pits. These guys, I do believe they only run 60% or 70% of gas. So they're not getting the full runs as you normally would have in these cars. And you see him get loose coming off of that pit road exit, trying to get his car under control. Those new tires definitely play havoc. You think you're Superman, so you go as fast as you can. And if they're cold enough, they will slip and slide and put you into the wall if you're not being careful or you're not paying attention. Wesley Whitfield now, he's going to come into pit road. back up front, Christopher Leftwich continues to lead now. Steve Gerber. Leftwich has not left him. I don't think anybody's going to be able to lead anybody tonight. The draft plays really big here in Atlanta. And right now, Steve Gerber is staying as close as he possibly can to that 13 of Christopher Leftwich. They got they got two different lines that they're running, and Steve Gerber gaining just ever so slightly coming out of turn 4. Go back here, look at Eddie Rivers. Eddie Rivers sitting in 9th place. Got a nice new design on that 15 car. Really looks sharp right there. Daniel Wilkerson and Jonathan. Daniel. Flat spotting them tires to get down to his speed, to a stop in his pit stops. Jonathan Canfield also in for his service. Eddie Rivers now coming down in that new paint scheme of his. So Green Flag pits have started. It's only a matter of time before you see the 13 and the 19 come down for their service. Now, Leonard Johnson and Christopher Simon, they're coming down to next two to come down to the attention of their crews. Christopher Leftwich, 13, gives up the lead back to Steve Gerber, and he comes down pit road. We'll see if Steve Gerber, Steve Gerber, he's going to come into pit road this time. Watch him, see if he gets down. Yep, he gets down perfectly getting into the pits. Eric Peck is going to assume the lead, and he's going to lead a lap. See the 13th coming out off of pit road as Eric Peck comes around to put him a lap down. See Mike Leftwich right there behind him. These guys are getting the most they can out of them fuel tanks. The problem with that is if they don't get a caution, they're going to lose so much time to these guys on fresh tires, or they might be trying to do it on a one tire stop. Sorry, I was checking some messages. Mr. Daniel Wilkerson has asked me to post. I do believe I posted it, so I think we're good there, Dan. We got a lot of people out here watching you guys put on a great show, so continue to do what y'all are doing. Right now we're watching. Right now we're watching Mike Leftwich and Eric Peck. Continue to go around, but here you got Chris Leftwich in the 19th of Steve Gerber coming around these guys. They got fresh tires, and they're just passing them like they're standing still. And this is the fresh tires that makes up that time for somebody who, like the 82 and the 60, who are just trying to get a caution to come out for themselves to gain up ground. But if a caution doesn't come out, it's a gamble. That's not going to pay off. because they are losing so much time. They might be almost a lap down by the time they come into the pits and come back out. Uh, they're definitely not going to be in first and second and being possibly in jeopardy of going a lap down. Steve Gerber being showed the last car on the lead lap. Watch Steve Gerber and Chris Leftwich. Harrison Chandler with his early pits has gotten around both Christopher Leftwich and Steve Gerber with a 3-second gap. But the problem is now he has old tires. He's really off sequence with these guys. Christopher Leftwich and Steve Gerber are just going to end up tracking Harrison Chandler down and passing him. By the time he gets there, Chandler's tires will not be minty fresh anymore. Mike Leftwich now leading late. Eric Peck goes in for his fuel, for his service, and that's going to leave Mike Leftwich to lead a lap and get them bonus points that are so crucial at the end of the season. A bonus point can mean the difference between winning a championship and coming in second. So you definitely want to be out there and get as many bonus points as you possibly can. But right now, Mike Leftwich looks like to be, well, I think him and Doug Turner are the last two guys that need to come in and do their pit run. But they might be trying to do it on one less pit stop. So if it works out that way, kudos, good call. Mike Leftwich continues to stay out. Eric Peck, who was once was just leading the race, came into fuel, and now he is a lap down to Mike Leftwich, and he is 18 seconds back from Steve Gerber, who Doug Turner in that 32. 12 seconds, 13 seconds back from the leader. I do believe he still has to come in and pit as well. You see the 60 catching the 35 of Christopher Simon now. Or no, I think Christopher Simon just got his lap back from Mike Leftwich there. Yes, Michael, I am broadcasting all the ARCA races for Doghouse Racing. Sorry, I just happened to be looking down at my comments at the exact time that you posted that, so you get a immediate response. Christopher Leftwich, who had the lead before these cycles of green flag pit stops started, is now worked his way up to 14 seconds to Mike Leftwich. Half a second behind Christopher Leftwich is Steve Gerber. Steve Gerber has that early speed in that car, where Christopher Leftwich is stronger on the long runs, which that's what looks like we're going to be having here is those long runs. So right now, Christopher Leftwich is definitely in the catbird seat, and both of them just now passing Doug Turner, who still yet has not pitted. Harrison Chandler sitting there, and oh, Mike Leftwich is now finally came into the pit road as well as Doug Turner. Uh, that was quite a long run they had there. Let's see, Mr. Leftwich went 46 laps. Comparatively to hmm. And he's going to go a lap down to the leaders, Christopher Leftwich and Steve Gerber. But the good news is now he has the fresher tires. As you see, Steve Gerber trying to make a pass on the 13 car. I'd like to welcome everybody in watching on YouTube. Definitely leave some comments, leave subscribes, leave some likes. Let us know who you think is going to win this race. So far, everybody thinks that the number 13 is going to win it. And so far, they might be right, but 19 is going to have some objections about that. And he's going to try to do his best to be in victory lane. But right now, 13 has control of this race. And here you see the 60 car coming out here trying to unlap himself. It's of Mike Leftwich there, trying to get his lap back from his son there, and he's able to do it. And that's going to open the door for 19 to take a look, but can't get down there, can't get close enough, and he's going to get back in behind Christopher Leftwich. Steve Gerber could constantly trying to put the pressure on that 13, looking high, looking low, trying to figure out how he can pass the 13. 13 not giving him much room. And I would like to go back and show you guys the rest of the field here, but right now all the racing is right here between the 19 and the 13 for the lead. Continuing to put pressure on that 13 car, but he goes up high now. Justin McMahon trying to get a lap back. Comes low on 19. 19 just lets him go. It's smart racing by that 19. Obviously, the 20 is faster than both of them, so just let him go and go back to racing one more time. Back there, about 5 seconds behind this battle for the lead is Harrison Chandler, who's off racing all by himself in that third position. Eric Peck back here in the fourth position. Christopher Simon back here in the 35 has rebounded, somewhat nicely. Was battling for the lead at one time, but now is back here in fifth position. Adam Gardner has come up to the sixth position with a 63 of Randall Barnett, just driving his heart out there, making some moves to try to get around Adam Gardner. Kevin Powell right there with him, trying to move in. You see the 63 make the pass of the 56. Jonathan Canfield, the newest member of Doghouse Racing, right there behind him. Eddie Rivers continuing to get around this track in that nice new paint scheme of his. And that's your top 10. Steve Gerber is now taking the lead from Christopher Leftwich. Every time I go away, he seems to take the lead. Not really liking him tonight. He's making my job hard. Let's go back here and see how that happened. See if I can find it on my old... Yeah, all right, so let's go. We're going to go back here and watch Christopher Leftwich. Oh, the 13 gets up into the wall. Makes it easy for the... Wow, that definitely is going to make it interesting. The 13 can... how much damage does he have on that car? We'll look at the last speeds. He's not too far off from the 19 car as the speed goes. Last time around, Steve Gerber ran a 33.06, where Christopher Leftwich ran at 33.22. So it's not that much far off, but he's continuing to fall. He's almost 2 seconds now behind Steve Gerber. And I know Christopher Leftwich right now is probably hoping that a caution can come out so he can try to get whatever damage that was done on that right side of the car where he hit the wall done, if it's even possible to get the damage fixed so that he can continue to race this race without losing as much time as he is, because he's already 2.5 seconds back behind Steve Gerber. Steve Gerber is just pulling away from the rest of this crowd. Sorry, the rest of this field. All right. My thank you sounds sticking on me. I don't know why that is. And you see Christopher Leftwich now coming down to pit road, and he's had enough of it. That car is just not driving like it was before he hit the wall, and he's going to come down to the service of his crew and see if we'll see. Yeah, he's got a lot of damage on that right side. He definitely pancaked that right side, and they're going to see if they can beat that out a little bit, give him some get that tire rope gone, and put him right back out there. Big heartbreak for 13th of Christopher Leftwich, leading the race. Seemed to get tight and just move up the track and hit that wall considerably hard enough to pancake that right side. But right now we still have a race to watch. Steve Gerber now with a comfortable 8.8 second lead, basically 9-second lead over Harrison Chandler. Now we see Harrison Chandler coming down pit road for his next scheduled pit stop. Now remember, he pitted early from everybody else to try to get that time, and here he is pitting earlier from everybody else because now that's his schedule that he's got to attend to. Back up front, Steve Gerber now with an 11-second lead over Eric Peck. Christopher Simon 15 seconds behind him. Keeping an eye on Christopher Leftwich. I was going to keep an eye on his. He's back. Looks like he's back on the track. Trying to kind of see how much damage has gotten fixed. Let me see. His last lap was a 31.7. I mean, he might not be too bad off. His best lap was a 31.49, so he's right there, and he just ran 31.57. So that damage probably isn't as hard as we thought it was. But he can still run some fast laps on those fresh tires, and we'll see how those tires play in because he definitely had a tire rub on that right side. So I think his tires are going to wear out just a little bit more. See Steve Gerber coming around now to the 11 car, Jonathan Cantfield. And we got a bunch of people down pit road. Eric Peck, Christopher Simon, Kevin Powell, Randall Barnett. All of them are in at lap 82 coming down pit road. We've had one caution the entire race at lap 20, I believe it was. It's been so long ago since we've seen a caution, I can't remember what lap it was. Right. Right now, Jonathan Cantfield and Lender Johnson coming in to the attention of their crews. See Lender Johnson right there in front of the 11 car. And now Mike Leftwich, who did that insane length of run on that last green flag run, he's back in second, but he's 19 seconds behind the leader. Now, Mike Leftwich, he last pitted on lap 60. So he definitely is going to have to go in one more time. He won't be able to do it on that one last stop that he was trying to do it before. Steve Gerber last pitted on lap 46. Christopher Leftwich back in third place. Looks like he got one of his laps back from Steve Gerber. And he is on the lead. He is back on the lead lap. So it's definitely going to make that interesting. He probably came in earlier than what he was wanting to. And the last time let me see. So he pitted in, and now Steve Gerber, our leader, is come down pit road. So that's going to hand the lead back over to Mike Leftwich, who has been known to get some mileage out of that fuel tank. Steve Gerber back in. Christopher Leftwich is going to take over that second place. And believe it or not, even with that damage, Christopher Leftwich will, once Mike Leftwich pits in, he's going to gain the lead back. But the problem with that is Christopher Leftwich is he last pitted on lap 74, so he's on 13 lap older tires than everybody else. That's definitely going to play a toll towards the end of this race, and we still have 34 laps left to go in this race. Mike Leftwich now coming down the pit road. Adam Gardner in the pit road already. Back on the track, Christopher Leftwich leading Harrison Chandler and Doug Turner in those top three positions. But Steve Gerber, who gave up the lead to come down the pit road, he's sitting there back there in fourth place. His last lap speed was a 31.39, where Christopher Leftwich, who's our current leader, was at 32.4. So he's 1 second quicker than the 13 of Christopher Leftwich, and that's time that you're not going to be able to make up if you're the 13. So back up front, for the moment, Christopher Leftwich. I do believe he's going to end up having to come into the pits one more time. I don't know. He might be able to stretch it out. He might be able to stretch it out to the finish from where he did pit. He pitted last at 74. And so that's going to be 46 laps. I do believe he can make it the rest of the way. We're going to bring up the pit strategy here one more time and see where these guys have been. 45 laps is the most anybody's ran. 46 laps was ran by Mike Leftwich in that 60 car. So, I mean, 46 can be done. But the problem with it, I mean, he's going to have to save maybe a couple of laps of fuel. But the thing of it is, Steve Gerber, it's coming fast. He's already brought it down to a 4-second gap. And Steve Gerber can definitely make it the rest of the way on fuel. Steve Gerber doesn't even need to have to play with his throttle to make it the rest of the way, where Christopher Leftwich is definitely not going to be able to go full throttle as much as he wants to. So, only thing I can say for Christopher there is you got to make your car wide when that 19 comes around, because that's the only way you're going to stop him. So once again, I want to definitely give a big shout out to everybody that's out there in YouTube world. Glad you guys could make it. Glad you guys could come out here and root these guys on. And right now, Brittany's guy there in that 13, Christopher Leftwich, he's out front, but he can feel the sting of that 19 car coming because he's there. He's got a couple of cars that he's got to deal with real quick, but he's going to be right there. He's a half a second right now behind Christopher Leftwich. The 15 of Eddie Rivers, a lap down. It's going to give the low side to Steve Gerber. The 29 is looking on the inside of the 13 for the lead as the 19 car comes up. Now the 19 is underneath the 29. The 19 is going to take that lead, or sorry, take the second position away from the 29 as the 29 gets loose on that top side. Now the 19 is going to set his sights on the 13 of Christopher Leftwich. He's going to look low, but Christopher's going to close the door for him. He's going to make this hard for the 19, which he has every right to do. I would be definitely, if I seen that hard charging 19 out there, I was like, I'll give you a lane. But here comes the 20 on those fresh tires, mixing it up with the leaders again. And that opens the door for the 19 to come through. 19 looking low on the 13. 13 giving it his all, but I just don't think he has enough tires right now. And 13 goes up to the high side. 19 comes around. We have a new leader. The 19 of Steve Gerber passing Christopher Leftwich for that number 1 position. $22 laps to go. I think the only thing that would be a saving grace for Christopher Leftwich is if a caution came out and that he'd have another set of tires in the pit stalls, but I don't remember how many tires these guys get. I thought it was 2, so his tires might be gone, so a caution wouldn't even help him. And there you see the gap between Steve Gerber and Christopher Leftwich. Harrison Chandler sitting there, back there in third spot. Good bounce back for Harrison Chandler. It looked like at one time he was going to be back there in the back, leading the race at the beginning. Fell all the way back to the back in the 9th, 10th, 11th positions. Was railed his way back. Now looking on the trying to look on the inside of Christopher Leftwich for that second place. Right there, this is where the battling is. Christopher Leftwich under fire from the 15th of Eddie Rivers. Eddie Rivers is a lap down back here in 7th position. But right now, I think that's actually saving that 13 from losing another spot. Is having Eddie Rivers right there below him, basically making a roadblock for that 29 car to face right there. Meanwhile, up front, Steve Gerber just puts it in cruise control. 17 laps to go. He's built up a 4.5 seconds on Christopher Leftwich, who's struggling to hold on to that second position from Harrison Chandler. So right now, barring Steve Gerber making the most horrible mistake he possibly can, it looks like it's going to be Steve Gerber's race. Christopher Leftwich doing all he can to try to stay in front of that 29 car of Harrison Chandler. I don't think he's even worried about that number one position. He just wants to hold on to as many positions as he can. And while this battling is going up here, it's allowed the 35 of Christopher Simon to. All right, he's 6 seconds back, so that's probably. Oh, Harrison Chandler right now putting the nose on the 13 car, getting him loose. And make it. He's gonna make that pass. As we came back up here to the second and third position, we've seen Harrison Chandler just slightly touch the back end of that 13 car, getting him loose. Now you see the 13 car poking his nose right back underneath the 29. And this is where the battling is at, ladies and gentlemen. For that second position, they're racing like it's the racing for the win. We love to see that. Always race for every position. 13 laps to go. There's not much you're going to be able to do to catch that leader, so get every position you can. And 13 rockets right back around the 29, taking it with force. But the 29 comes down and looks low on the 13, trying to get the position back once again. "13 takes the advantage coming out of turn 2. 29 looks low again, but I think right now that high line has got the advantage. I don't know. 29 getting closer. Is unable to make the pass coming out of turn 4 going into the tri-oval. While it's settled down for a minute, I'm going to go back and watch the original pass by Harrison Chandler. Let's go back here and watch this. We're going to see back it up a little bit more. You see there the contact. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on. So let me back it up a little bit more because it might have been 30. You see the 13. 29 had a big run. 13 got a run on. 13 came down just slightly. 29 did not lift. And that's a race incident as I've seen it. I don't think it was anything malice, but 13 definitely came back and regained the lead. But now, as we coming back, 29 trying to take the position right back away from Christopher Leftwich with 10 laps to go. Second place is anybody's game. Steve Gerber out here just putting people laps down. He's up, made a damn 8-minute and 38.3 second lead over the second place of Christopher Leftwich. It looks like Harrison Chandler I think his tires have gave out on him, and he's fallen back about a second behind Christopher Leftwich. So it looks like if nothing crazy happens, it looks like the lineup's going to look like this of the top 3 with Steve Gerber, Christopher Leftwich, and Harrison Chandler. But anything can happen. We have 9 laps to go. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. That could shake up these front 3 or the front 4 or even the front 5. We've got 5 cars left on the lead lap. definitely as the laps wind down, want to give a shout out to Doghouse Racing. Uh, I'm thankful every other Sunday night I get to come in broadcast a race for Daniel and company, and definitely enjoy doing this, and look forward to having long lasting relationships with Doghouse Racing. Christopher Leftwich now having over a second lead over Harrison Chandler. Uh, Only one around in between these guys is a couple of lap cars, Eddie Rivers and what looks to be Jonathan Childs in that 11 car. Not a bad start for this guy's doghouse career. He's up one position, kind of mirrored around the top 7, top 8, top 9 all night long. So definitely good shout out to Jonathan Canfield, put on a good show in his doghouse debut. Eddie Rivers now looking on the low side of Christopher Leftwich there. Now Eddie Rivers with a 1.2 second lead over Jonathan Canfield. That lead is deteriorating as we speak. He's now down to under a second. So 4 laps to go. Can the rookie Jonathan Canfield take over the 8th spot from the veteran Eddie Rivers? Eddie Rivers trying to get around the 13. Is unable to do it. Right now, Steve Gerber just on cruise control. 3 laps to go. You see Adam Gardner running back around 19. I don't think 19 is going to fight with anybody. He's got a 9-second lead. Definitely does not want to do any damage to his car or even bring out a caution. So you see him, he's just racing really nice. At the line, we're going to have 2 laps to go. And then the celebration will start right after the checkered flag flies. This time around, Steve Gerber will get the white flag, the 1 to go. 4 more turns, and he will be the race winner for the 3rd race of the Doghouse ARCA Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. My hometown, or not my hometown, but my home state. White flag in the air. Steve Gerber takes the white flag. One more time around, Steve Gerber has 4 turns, now 3 turns, now 2 turns. Down on the back straightaway. No challenge from anybody. There's nobody around to challenge him. He's just on cruise control. He's going to come around the turns 3 and 4 now. Coming to the front stretch. Going to come into the tri-oval. Checkered flag is out. Steve Gerber takes the checkered flag. Comes home the winner. Christopher Leftwich is going to come home 2nd place. Harrison Chandler is 3rd. Christopher Simon's going to come 4th. Mike Leftwich slowly getting there, but he's going to come home in 5th place. There you go. Mike Leftwich takes 5th place. Eric Peck, he's going to be your 6th place finisher. Kevin Powell, 7th. Eddie Rivers, 8th. Doug Turner, 9th. Something happened to Jonathan Canfield there. He's being showed in the 10th position. Lost a position at the end there. But this is what we got to look at right here. the 19 of Steve Gerber, burning them down. There. All right. So congratulations to Steve Gerber. Let's bring up the before we start getting into these interviews. Let's bring up the race results here. Here you see Steve Gerber, your winner tonight. Christopher Leftwich, great race by Christopher. Led a lot of the laps and kind of saved Dan Wilkinson from having to go do a I'm a little teapot dance for old Brittany there. And Harrison Chandler coming in third, Christopher Simon fourth, Mike Leftwich comes home fifth, Eric Peck sixth, Kevin Powell seventh, Eddie Rivers eighth, Doug Turner ninth, Jonathan Canfield in his first race for Doghouse Racing comes home 10th, Randall Barnett 11th, Justin McMahon 12th, Daniel Wilkinson 13th, Adam Gardner 14th, Lender Johnson 15th, Kaysen Owen is going to come home 16th, and Wesley Whitfield is going to come home 17th position tonight. So there is your lineup for tonight's race. And definitely thank you, Andrew St. Carrier, for the subscription. Say that every subscription makes my day a lot better. Appreciate everybody out there in YouTube. We're gonna get to these some interviews here now. Let me see if everybody's ready to go. Let me see who's in the. We got Steve Gerber in the waiting room, but we don't want to talk to him quite yet. We want to talk to Christopher Simon. If Christopher Simon's out there, please, somebody let Christopher Simon go to the waiting room. Definitely want to talk to him, as well as Christopher Leftwich. Christopher Leftwich, man, get into Discord. Brittany, tell him to get to Discord. He's got to give you a shout out to you. Definitely want to talk to Christopher Leftwich. All right. Got Harrison Chandler's. Oh, Harrison Chandler. There we go. He's in ninth. There we go. We're going to move Harrison Chandler up here to the broadcast with me. He won the pole. Led all the laps up into the first that first caution. Harrison Chandler, Mike Lester in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Chandler. I do believe you sound familiar. I think I've interviewed you before, haven't I?
Yeah, I was in the Vegas race 2 weeks ago.
Alrighty, all right. I thought the name and the voice sounded familiar, but tonight we're talking about the Atlanta race. You went out there and you won the pole. You led all the laps leading up to that first caution. What happened on that first caution or on that first restart that caused you to fall back so far and then get out of sorts with everybody else? I seen that you were on a different pit schedule with everybody else. Tell us what happened.
Well, I thought staying out would have been the perfect opportunity because one, I would have been the leader regardless, and two, I didn't expect 15 laps to be a second off of the guys with the freshies, but apparently that's what happened. I thought a lot more people. I expected a lot more cautions after that, so that's another reason why I stayed out. And if I could go back time, I would have pit there definitely. I'm pretty I'm psyched with a third place finish, but I'm disappointed at the same time because I knew I had a winning. I had the win in my hands pretty much up until that first caution. But it was just I'll have to learn. I'll have to remember that next time and learn from there. Would like to thank all my supporters in the past, present, and future who has believed in me, and thanks to my parents especially. They are the reason why I have my equipment. It's been a rough few months for me, so being able to get back out on track is always a blessing. And I think that's pretty much it.
Well, there you go. We hadn't even done the interview, and he's already given the shout outs. But I did want to ask you those closing moments. You were up there racing for second place, and you and Christopher Leftwich, y'all put on a really good show for us. And those, I thought the race was going to be boring at the end with Gerb running away with to a 9 second lead, but you and Christopher Leftwich right there in that 13, y'all made it very interesting there at the walk us through that. What was your point of view right there? Because y'all were you were passing him, he was passing you, you were passing him. At what started it all was you came up and just touched him slightly and got him out of sorts. Walk us through that. What happened there?
Yeah, that bump was not intentional at all. I tried to get down. I tried to get down as far as I could to the bottom because I knew I had a mega run. I didn't want to lift because I knew if I lifted, my momentum would have been gone. And I barely nudged him a little bit in the left rear, and I was like, oh god, it's gonna spin him out. Thankfully, it didn't though.
Actually,
What's disappointing about that though is I had it and then I choked it and then I choked it again by hitting the wall and then that was pretty much it. Still though, great race. I'll definitely settle with third. Atlanta is one of my favorite tracks, so top 5 is good for any day.
oh, I definitely top 5 is definitely a good top 10 is a good race, depending on how many cars are in the field. But man, I know you've already given your shout outs, but before I let you go, anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Well, oh yeah, I forgot to mention I have autism and Tourette's syndrome. I'm only 17 years old, so to be out here is really special, real great opportunity, and I hope to take advantage of it as much as I can.
All right, there you go. So I think we're giving shout outs to fighting the war against autism and Tourette's, and it's definitely a good war to band against there. And we wish you nothing but the luck in the future, man. And we look forward to talking to you again here in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks for having me. I'm probably not going to do another race up until like May. I saw the schedule, and the next few tracks aren't really my type. So,
Well, how do you know until you get them out there? You got to get out there. You got to do all types. You can't be a one type guy. You got to. It's like when you go to pick a wife. There's many types on it. You just can't be a one type guy.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to talking to you here in the future. And congratulations on that third place finish. And man, go back and party with mom and dad and the rest of the family. And definitely big shout outs to them and the rest of the people that take care of Harrison when he's not racing. All right. Have a good night, my friend.
All right. Thanks. Same to you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. All right. Next up is Chris Leftwich. Had most support out there in the YouTube world. Had nobody else had the support like Christopher Leftwich did. Man, Chris Leftwich, Mike Lester in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Man, you put on a really good show tonight, man. You had a really strong car. You and Gerb were the class of the fields after that first caution, and both of y'all got around Harrison Chandler. You went up and you had a lead, and you hit the wall, and kind of I mean not kind of basically killed your momentum. You had to pit early. Man, walk us through what was going on there.
Oh, I had some worn out tires. I was pushing her hard there, and I side slapped the wall a little bit. Had some wheel damage, and I tried to continue on, but it just wasn't driving good for me. So I decided to go ahead and pit. I knew if I pitted, I'd have to save some fuel, so I just went ahead and saved fuel. I was actually clutching the last 20 laps.
Well, yeah, I think I pointed that out that you were going to try to do it on one last fuel. You had exactly 46 laps to do it on, and I guess I'm guessing because you finished the start finish line that you had enough fuel to make it to the end, and still was able to, even though you were clutching, you were still able to hold off a hard charging Harrison Chandler on those closing moments. Uh, I asked him about it, and he said that it definitely was not intentional. He just had such a big run, and if he didn't let off because he didn't want to ruin his momentum. But in the outcome, you still, it probably gave you a little bit more fuel to get back around him.
Yeah, I was actually I had it neutral actually when in the center of the turn. I had the clutch pushed in when he got into me. Thank God, because if I was under power, I would have spun out. But as soon as he contacted me, I just went up a lane and let him by, and then I sucked up to him and worked my way back by him and held him off there for a while. I had a pretty good race though with him. He's a good driver.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely a good driver, good kid. I got to talk to him when he won over there in Las Vegas, but man, you and Steve, you guys were battling before that. Tightness took the wall took the right side of your damage there, or right side of your car there. Man, y'all were out there battling, man. Tell us how do you think the racing went on out there with you and racing with Gerb out there? You would take the lead, he would have the lead. You had the long run, he had the short run.
Yeah, I know I could get him on the long run after I had more confidence in the long run. If you was running high lane there, I can build momentum and keep RPMs up and go down the backstretch a lot faster than he could. But I noticed that he was running about middle of the track there for the longest time, so I figured if I run where he didn't, I'd catch him. But yeah, we had a pretty good battle. He's a pretty good driver himself also. But yeah, he ran me clean, ran hard too. It was fun.
Oh yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun out there. But not next week, but 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. Man, how are you liking your chances to get in a top three, a top five over there at Richmond?
Hopefully I pull out a win. I ain't never ran there before, to be honest with you. It'll be definitely an experience, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry, I'll be all week practicing. I'll get her done.
All right. Well, I mean, out there in YouTube world, you were the man of the hour. Everybody was rooting for you. Brittany Rice was rooting for you. Michael Smashma was rooting for you, man. As I let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I appreciate the support from my fiance. She has to put up with this crap, but other than that, I appreciate everybody giving me support. My dad out there, he was running with me. He's in the 60 car. I don't know how he ended up, but yeah, he
He,
supports me a lot too.
yeah, he finished fifth, so it was a good run. Good run for both of the Leftwich guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, he supports me a lot too. But also Shoney's, they came aboard and they sponsored my other two league races. So yeah, they helped me out a lot too. So other than that, no, I really don't have any others to say.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to here in 2 weeks at Richmond, maybe even talking to you again, and looking forward to watching you guys showcase that, man. And congratulations on your second place finish. You're the runner up, the Mega Man behind the man. So
Appreciate it, man.
awesome. All right, man. So congratulations once again. That's Chris Leftwich, and we're gonna move him back down to general, and we are going to bring up the man of the hour, the man who took home the gold, a man that I am real familiar with, Steve Gerber. Mike Lesher in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Mike, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You were out there representing uh, some good racing out there. You guys were strong. I do believe this was your first time. I know you've done doghouse racing before, but is this your first time doing the ARCA series with them?
Yep, this is the first time.
All right, so that's
Just
a good
thought it
way
would be
to
fun.
yeah, it's good way to start your ARCA career with these guys coming out there and showing them how it's done. I mean, uh, you qualified fourth. Uh, Harrison Chandler had a real good card. Made a mistake. It stayed out on that first caution. You made him pay for that mistake and got him off of pit sequence. He had to pit like 15 laps before everybody else did. But man, you ran a heck of a ride. You were out there racing really hard with Christopher Leftwich. Man, clean racing all the ground. He commended you on how well you raced him clean, man. Give us a little bit of what you saw out there and what your feelings are.
Yeah, I think that first stop really laid it out there. That was a big deal for me. That going in and getting tires and those guys staying out, I was able to get around them pretty quickly, and then really had a lot of clean air. And then me and Chris were battling pretty good there, but I didn't want to race him too hard. It was a long race, and I knew it was going to be a long race. So I don't know, it just kind of fell down. It just lined up, and everything lined up. Pit strategy lined up. It just worked out perfectly after that first caution. So
Yeah. Well, at the end there, you had almost a 9-second lead over Christopher Leftwich. What song was running through your head as you were just cruising around?
Oh man, I don't think I had a song. I was just gonna stay behind Adam. I didn't really care at that point. I was watching between 8 and 9 seconds, and I was just gonna ride behind Adam. And if I was in front of him, then I was like, I just let him go and figured I would just ride. So yeah, it was a nice last 10 laps there. You don't have races like that very often, so it was nice to have a relaxed last 10 laps.
Yeah, out of all the races that we've done in Atlanta over this weekend, it was really nice to see a good, clean race. One caution definitely made it for an interesting race, got everybody spread out. There was only 5 cars on the lead lap at the end, but you guys made it interesting like they do every week at Doghouse Racing, and definitely look forward to seeing you again here in a couple of weeks. These guys are running at Richmond Raceway. What are your thoughts about that?
Be fun. I'll be there for that one for sure. I like Richmond. Kind of a short track, but yeah, I mean, I guess you call it a short track, but yeah, I like Richmond. I'll be there for that one for sure.
All right.
It'll be fun, hopefully.
All
Be a
right.
good race. I'm
Well, I already
excited
know.
for it.
Yeah, well, I already know the answer for this one, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Before we let you go celebrate with your friends, man, who should we give a shout out to?
Oh, well, I'm gonna change it up a little bit tonight. My crew chief, he's just sleeping on the floor anyway, so he's kind of worthless right now. So shout out to Daniel for running this league. He does a really good job with it. And also shout out to the Global Boys, make me better every week. So I appreciate all those guys. So, and all the guys that raced tonight, hard and clean, and the lap guys that were super considerate all night. So it was a good race. I appreciate it.
All right, Steve Gerber, your race winner tonight, coming home with the gold. Definitely congratulations once again, man, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks and at Richmond. Maybe we'll have you up here interviewing again.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That was Steve Gerber, your race winner tonight. Now it's come to the time where where is my buddy at? I don't think he's around anymore. I think he escaped on me. So let me see here. Let me see what is. Let me see. All right. So, yep, our guy here at Doghouse Racing, Daniel Wilkerson, will not be joining us tonight. I don't see Eddie Rivers up there as well. I think they done skipped town on me. So I'll just say the final moments here. Great race here at Doghouse Racing. We had 120 laps, one caution out of those 120 laps. Good hard racing. Steve Gerber comes out victorious, and Christopher Leftwich, good runner-up position, and Harrison Chandler, the top 3 for Global Racing Esports Network. I'm Mike Lester. Good night.